I want to go over one product very quickly. It's very cheap. It's very cheap. It's an essential trace element to the body. Now, if you're short on this product, if you take it, it can seem like a miracle cure, but it's like essential to the body. So if you're short on a product, you can have a number of health problems. And this product is, well, this essential trace element is selenium. Now, selenium is in different amounts in different parts of the soil, in different soils throughout the earth. Where they found that selenium is in low supply in the soil, there's a higher incidence of cancer, right? Now, that is some studies and also some Chinese studies. You're not going to see too much out of that, out of like the AMA or government studies and that type of stuff. The recommended daily amount, well, it's roughly from 55 to 70 micrograms, which is millionths of a gram, mcg, selenium per day, per, like the government. Now, in this product, Nature's Way Alive, I like this product a lot. I take it all the time. I don't sell it or nothing. It has 200 micrograms of selenium. Now, that's kind of like what some people would say is near to getting closer to the toxic level. And I'm going to tell you what the toxic level is, the warning signs. One is like, that's not it though. I'm going to tell you Chinese studies conflict with that greatly. And there's one reason I'm going to tout this a little bit, is that when there's more selenium in the soil, there's a lower cancer incidence of cancer. Now, also talking about the AIDS epidemic in Africa, right, or everywhere, whatever the hell it is, like in Zimbabwe and Botswana, I believe it is, they got like 26 or 25% AIDS rate, right? It's like quarter of the population. Then there's another place in Western Africa where they have a less than 2% rate of AIDS. And they have like multiple marriages, the guy marries like 6 wives, and there's all kinds of rampant prostitution going on, yet they have less than 2% AIDS. And the soil in that part of Africa has the highest amount of selenium. So anybody, growing crops in that area gets a lot of selenium. Now, in alternative health circles, they'll tell you to take, now I'm just throwing this out here so you can take it for whatever. I don't think it's, don't expect to see it as a miracle cure, but it's cheap. They say to take 300 micrograms of selenium a day, okay, to help prevent cancer. That's what they say, okay? I'm not saying that, I'm just relaying the information. That's, the government doesn't say that, the AMA doesn't say that. Now, Chinese studies, this is very interesting. Chinese studies show that this upper safe limit, according to Chinese, because they were looking at, they had different parts of in China where people got a lot of cancer. The selenium in the soil was nil. There was hardly any. Now, in Chinese studies, it's like totally different from what you hear from the Western medicine. So, just take this as, there's, the jury's out on this type of stuff. Maybe you'll just put it that way. But they will show that selenium's upper safe limit is a little bit over 800 micrograms, okay, millionths of a gram, which is, over 10 times what the government's telling you to take, so I don't know what the hell that means. They say the beginning toxic level, the amount where it starts getting toxic, is a little bit over 1,000 micrograms. Now, in some alternative circles, they say to take 800 to 1,000 micrograms of selenium a day to help fight the effects of HIV, because in a way it works like birth control for HIV, and also it works against, I don't want to say this too much, but let me say it this way, in some circles they claim that it helps prevent cancer. Now, in China, they found out where the soil was rich in selenium, and also in Africa where the soil was rich in selenium, and also in the Midwest in the United States the soil is more rich in selenium versus like Florida. The soil is very poor in selenium. The locally grown crops will, claim to help prevent cancer, believe it or not. So, I don't know. But, I don't want to just say this like it's a blatant fact. I tend to believe that, though. That's my opinion anyway. I tend to believe it. But its stuff is cheap. Like, you could buy like a little bottle like this that has like 100 capsules, 200 micrograms is popped, and it's like, I don't know, a few bucks at the most, $2 or $3. It's nothing. Very cheap. So it's like this. I just want to state this. It's a little known thing out there that people could possibly be healthier with a little bit more selenium in their diet, which is dirt cheap. Now, like Nature's Way Alive already has 200 micrograms of selenium in it, and you're getting some from the food, so you probably got about 300 right there. So, you're probably okay, right? Now, if you had, I don't want to make a recommendation here or nothing, but let's just say you don't have any money and you don't have any medications, you don't know what to do with anything. What you do is, if you got selenium, don't take too much. If you believe in the Chinese studies, it's about 800 to 1,000 micrograms is your upper limit. They say a little bit over 1,000 is like where it starts getting toxic. Well, the phone's been ringing a lot, so I started this 12 times already, so I'm going to finish it with that one little interruption. But selenium has been touted to be something of a cheap thing that you could possibly help you out to boost your immune system, to fight cancer and HIV, believe it or not, in alternative circles. Now, beware of alternative circles, because there is a load of snake oil out there, but the studies I saw where they showed selenium-rich soil in, like, say, Africa and China, there had the lowest rates of like cancer and HIV/AIDS, okay, or AIDS, okay. Like, it was a place in Western Africa, it was like less than 2%. There was all kinds of prostitution going on, guys marrying 7 women, and rate is less than 2%. And in Zambia, it's like 26%. So and they're very poor in selenium in the soil in Zambia. So same thing like with China, same thing. So it's probably a pretty smart thing to do. The way it works with HIV, supposedly, is it works almost like a birth control for the virus. Not as good as something a doctor would give you, but if you can't afford that, I don't know, I might try this. If you take too much, the warning signs of taking too much is like a garlic breath. You'll see a yellow color under your nails, and then your nails, you really take real lot, and I'm talking like 3,000, 4,000 micrograms. You think it's a joke taking too much of it, your nails will fall out and your hair will start falling out. I mean, it's that bad, so don't be doing that stuff. The Chinese say the upper safe limit is a little over 800 micrograms, and it starts getting toxic around a little over 1,000. So, I'm just putting that out for your information. You can look it up elsewhere on the internet and other studies. I'm not even going to point to the studies. But, some of this stuff I think is legit, but none of it's a cure-all, none of it's a miracle. But I only put out things that are possibly be very inexpensive for people. Since I see Nature's Way product has 200 micrograms of selenium in it, that's probably a safe dosage right there. You probably get some more in your food. Like Brazil nuts will have selenium in them. Now, if you buy like Brazil nuts that are already cracked open, they have less selenium than the ones you crack open yourself. That's the way it works. But because of where they were grown at, that's another interesting tidbit. But it's a very, very, very cheap trace element that could be beneficial for some people. Actually beneficial for everybody. It is, like I said, an essential trace element. So if you're low on it, you will have problems. But there is a range where it becomes toxic when you get above that range. And that is where the controversy lies. The controversy lies there. The Chinese studies are way different from what you have in the Western medicine. So, take your pick.